Welcome back to the On the Fence podcast. It is week 2 here on a short week for our Commanders. It's your host, Reb. I'm joined by special guest today, Ed Oliver. Ed, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are if they don't already know, and they should.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the real Ed Oliver, not the one from the Bills that was wrecking the Ravens Sunday night. Sunday night. Thank you for having me on, man. Big time Commanders fan, big fan of your channel, big fan of you guys' channel, man. So thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for having me on.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you being on here on this short week. I know you're excited to talk all things Commanders, and that's exactly what this week's episode is going to be all about. We're going to talk about what our Commanders did last week. We're going to talk about this matchup coming up on this week against the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be a tough one, but I think the Commanders can go ahead and get it done. So stick tuned. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to put all our socials in here, and let's go. Raise hell, raise hell.
We'll blaze a trail. Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the Commanders will prevail. Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the Commanders never fail.
All right, Ed, let's talk a little bit about week 1, man. Going into that game, I mean, we were talking about this off camera. It felt like a homecoming game, man. It felt like we knew we were going to go in that joint and take care of business. What were you thinking going into that game, and what did you see that you may have liked or did not like as much?
Yeah, no, I had the utmost confidence going to that game. It's crazy because Giants fans were talking a lot of trash,
They
man. They had
were.
a good preseason. They were undefeated, and they really thought they were going to win this game. Like a lot of Giants fans were talking trash, saying they were going to beat us. But no, I loved it, man. This is what's going to come for the next couple of years we play against the Giants. I think we're going to own them for the next couple of years, man. And
Mhm.
I wanted to get back at Russ because he had the disrespectful dance when he beat us last
Man.
year. So I wanted to get so I wanted to get him back. But I know you guys hosted a tailgate and just watching some of the videos on Instagram. I mean, the vibes were immaculate. It was awesome. Like just seeing that, we dominated our own like the fact that we have to say we dominate our own stadium, but it's changing like because a lot of
Mhm.
a lot of Giants fans used to take over the stadium really like a couple years ago, not too long ago, but you were telling me that it was like 80%, 20% Commanders fans and 90% Commanders fans. So I love seeing that. So like it is like a homecoming game against the Giants now because everybody, all Commanders fans, we knew we were gonna win. Like everybody came in confident into the building, just the fan energy, and but I love that. But from a game standpoint,
Mhm.
just seeing Deebo Samuel, and we didn't even play our best game. Like Jayden was a little off. He
Was.
threw the ball behind to Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz had a drop, he had a false start to start the game off. We had 12 penalties. Just a lot of
Sloppy.
uncharacteristic stuff. Yeah, sloppy. We had 0 timeouts with 8 minutes left to go in the game. Like right before halftime, we didn't get the field goal because we just some mishaps with play calling and timeout. So it was a lot of uncharacteristic things that we did, and we still pulled the belt out in BTA against the Giants. And I can talk about the offense and Zach Ertz, Debo, Bill had a heck of a game.
Bill.
Jayden played well. But we got to give credit to the defense, man. Like Kinlaw, Deron Payne, the secondary, Trey Amos, Marshawn Lattimore, give him his credit. Mikey, Revo, All Pro Revo came in the mix, had a nice hit. Like a lot of guys contributed. Deron Payne, I think I already said his name. But I want to give him credit again because he stepped up. Kinlaw once again. It was a full effort defensively, man. We really had Russ skittish in the pocket, man. Two
Mhm.
sacks, couple big hits. Quan Martin should have got a pick, but it was called back.
Man,
But
the refs
um,
were the Giants' best player that day, bro.
right, and then we had a goal line stand like twice. Like they had it on the 1 yard line, they still couldn't score. They went for it on the fourth down and got it, and then they had another opportunity to go for it on fourth down. Once they didn't go for it on that fourth down again, I was like, yeah, they scared money don't make any money. They don't want to win this. They're just not good enough to win the game anyway.
Facts.
But once we stopped them on that third down, I was like, yeah, it's a wrap, man. Like this is it, man. So we took care of business. We should have won 30-6, really, even 35-6.
Mhm.
But an NFC East win is a win is a win is a win, especially in the NFC East, man. Those are hard to come by.
For sure.
And like I said, we've lost to the Giants so many times with Tom and DeVito and Terod Taylor and Daniel Jones. So to mop the Giants like that with their defensive line, like Dexter Lawrence was radio silent. Thibodeau, I didn't hear much from him. The only defensive lineman I really heard from was Brian Burns,
Mhm.
because he had a sack or two. But even then, like I thought we did a really good job against their D line because Abdul Carter. Like the only time I really
Mhm.
heard about him was the punt return or was with the block punt. Other than
Yeah.
that, I really didn't see much from Abdul Carter. And all we heard before the game was how good their D line was. Oh, their D line is going to do this and that. But for the most part, we did a good job. And Sam Cosmi's hurt, so this was without Sam Cosmi. So a lot of good things to build on, a lot of things to work on. But I think there was more good than bad to build on.
Oh, for sure, man. You nailed it on the head. That I think that game should have been 42-6, to be honest with you. But I will say that was the one thing that I saw that came from the Giants is their defensive front seven. Like they are the truth, and I feel like that was why we looked a little bit of sloppy because they were coming after Jayden, and our offensive line was holding up. But it's only so much you could hold up against those guys. But to your point, Dexter Lawrence was radio silent. I didn't see him dance not once, man. So that was really nice to see our offensive line show up like that and really hold it down. But the defense, man, that was the most impressive thing for me was seeing how well our defense came and just seeing so many different fronts they had out there, Ed. It was just so exotic,
Mhm.
bro. There were times where they have Dorrance Armstrong out there with Kinlaw and Goldman and Payne, and it's just like, oh my God, bro. And then there'll be times where they have what's his name, Jerzon Newton out there, and he'll be out there with Miller and like Payne and Luvu and some other stuff. And it's like, yo, it was just so many exotic fronts, bro. And it really felt nice to see our defense make that much of a step up to only hold them to what 3.7 yards average in the whole game. I know they had a few big plays. Malik Neighbors had like 71 yards, but he earned every blade of grass that he crossed against that defense. And that makes me feel really, really good because last year that was our Achilles heel. So to see it improve makes me feel good. But I'm also like cautiously optimistic. I'm like, are the Giants really that bad or are we that good? And I think this week is going to tell us the answer to that.
100%. Yeah, I think the Giants are that
They
bad.
are.
But they do have talent
They
too.
do.
Like we brought up their D line. Like Malik Neighbors is a dog. Tyrone Tracy's good too. Like
He
he's not a
is.
bad. Like he had a good year last year. Like he had more. Once again, B Rob. Shout out to him. I don't want to shade him or nothing, but he had more yards than B Rob as a rookie. Like he had 800 rushing yards. It's not easy to do as a rookie running back.
Mm-hmm.
I know Andrew Thomas didn't play, but regardless, I don't think Andrew Thomas was really going to make that much of a difference, to be honest with you, even though
Mm-hmm.
he's a good left tackle. And then the other receivers are not bad either. Like Darius he's a solid wide receiver
Wandell
number three.
Robinson.
Yeah, Wandell he's cooked us before. We've seen him go off against us a couple of times. Even their safeties like Javon Holland's a good safety. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not like they're just a terrible team. They are a bad team, but they got some guys that can go, and they do have some talent. And they I don't know what they're gonna do with Russ, but they're gonna have to bench him pretty soon. I don't know if they're gonna go with they're gonna have to go with Jackson Dart
They have
probably
to.
sooner than later. I do see them going like I had them going 0-5 to start the season. I haven't looked at their schedule the rest of the way, but I think it's probably like 2-15 or something like that. But even with that, like you can still have a bad record and still have talent. Like I said, we've lost to bad Giants teams in the past, man. Like
Yes, we
we've seen that
have. Oh
so many
man, it's
times.
been terrible.
Like it doesn't matter who they've thrown out there. Like I said, it could be Daniel Jones, it could be DeVito,
DeVito.
Rod Taylor. Like they've thrown some guys, some bottom tier quarterbacks. We've still found ways to lose to those guys. So with all that being said, like I said, the Giants they still have Malik Neighbors, who's a really good
Mm-hmm.
player. And from a cornerback standpoint, to see Amos as a rookie turn his head and make a pass breakup, like we didn't see that a
St.
lot from
Juice could
corner.
never.
Right. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, like that stuff we didn't see from Forbes, Ben St. Juice, Michael
Mm-hmm.
Davis, like all those guys were not doing that at all. So for a rookie to step up and do that against a arguably top 10 receiver in the league, Million
Mm-hmm.
Neighbors already, like that's like, yeah, like this cornerback room is just vastly super, super improved.
Yeah, man. I like when I went back and watched some of the film, I honestly barely saw them throw to Mikey. Like it was
Mhm.
crazy. There were times where he had guys that were open near Mikey and he didn't even dare to go over there. He would rather throw towards Lattimore or Amos or one of our safeties, which was really crazy. And speaking of safeties, somebody who really stood out to me was Will Harris, man. Will
Right.
Harris was he was flying around, man. He was laying the wood left and right, bro. Like he made some really really good plays, and I was worried a little bit about our safety room with Jeremy Chin's departure, but seeing the way he played, I'm not worried about a damn thing, man. Like Will Harris was the truth out there.
Yeah, no. He forced that fumble on Russ, man.
Hmm.
We gotta be like one of the keys for tomorrow. I know we'll talk about tomorrow, of course, too, against the Packers is we gotta be ready to get the
Hmm.
football, man. Like if somebody forces a fumble, man, we just gotta be aware. And I know it's
Hmm.
not easy to just fall on the fumble, but that's a play. I mean, Russ got it right back, so it is what it is. But no, Will Harris was flying around, man. He's a really good tackler. Tackling is one of the keys to victory, really just the whole season. But he tackles, man. He
Hmm.
plays with reckless abandon because he can play
Hmm.
corner and he can play safety.
Hmm.
So love Jeremy Chin and all that. Wish him the best. But yeah, Will Harris came out to play, man. He had a good preseason too.
He did. He was
But
solid.
that goal, some of the goal line stands out there that we had, he was a big part of that, man. So he looks like already like a really good addition.
Yeah, man. Shout out to AP and those guys continuing to cook.
Mm.
But you touched on it. We are playing the Packers this week. Let's talk a little bit about them. Did you get a chance to watch any of their game and check out their stats and how they did?
Yeah. Oh, one thing I want to say too, the last thing about the Giants game,
Yeah.
the Chris Moore, man. Chris Moore, I was shocked that he called the football.
Same.
I
I
could
didn't
not
even know they
believe.
were gonna call him up for that game.
Right. Like, because I saw the notification that he got elevated to the team from the practice squad, and I was like, come on, man. Like, why are we playing this guy? Like, he was terrible in the preseason, couldn't catch. Like, I didn't want him to make the practice squad. I was
Hmm.
happy he didn't make the 53-man roster. And then I was upset because he made the practice squad. I just didn't think he deserved to make it.
Hmm.
And I was like, I'd rather have Ja'Cory Brooks.
Hmm.
Ja'Cory Brooks is on the practice squad too, but I'd rather see Ja'Cory Brooks get on the roster rather than seeing Chris Moore. But Chris Moore actually made a catch. It was a 34-yard catch. Heck of a throw by Jayden Daniels on the run, by the way. But that was a big play by Chris Moore. So, I mean, we'll see if he gets more time tomorrow. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's not like he's super needed, but to have another guy out there that can make a play is great. It looks like he's above Luke McCaffrey a little bit. I don't know who
Yeah.
got more. You know, it is what it is on that too.
Yeah.
But even Luke though, Luke had a good return. He had a
Hmm.
good block
Hmm.
on the Deebo end around. So like, and I know everybody's been tough on Luke, but last thing I'll say about Luke too is that as long as he has like a role on the team, like
Yeah.
everybody knows the place they're filling, getting where you can fit in, and you have a role, like I'm fine with that. I get it. You want more out of a third round pick. But at least he has a role on the team where we know we can call on him. He's going to go out there and block for Terry on the screen. He'll block for
Hmm.
Debo on the screen. Like the little things are huge. It may not show up in the stat sheet, kind of like Nick Bloor. Like Nick
Yeah.
Bloor had that
Oh
huge hit on
man, that hit was
like
crazy. I'm glad you mentioned that because I was gonna say special teams went crazy in that game.
100%. So like stuff like that. Like I get it. You want more out of your third round pick in
Hmm.
Luke McCaffrey, but if he can show up every day with his hard hat on, block, special teams, kick return, then it is what it is, and we'll see what happens with him next year. But other guys like some of the backups stepped up and had big games. So that's how you know you have a good team when you have second string, third string guys contributing.
Yeah, for sure, man. With Luke, I feel like he just needs a little bit more time, and I think they're gonna
Yeah,
slowly but
yeah,
surely sprinkle him in. But I like what he brings on special teams, and he looks like a better runner. I think working out with Bijan and his brother over the summer definitely made some difference for him. So I'll be interested to see how that goes. But to your point, I do like Ja'Cory Brooks, and I do. I was very surprised to see Chris Moore. Everybody in the stadium was like, "Who just caught the ball?" We were just like, who's that? It was like Chris Moore. Everybody was like, oh, okay, Chris Moore, Chris Moore. It was like murmurs, you know.
yeah. And then so you asked about the Packers game, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So that game, that could potentially be an NFC Championship preview.
Mm,
I've heard a lot of people do that. Honestly, right now, I do watching. If you watch, of course, everybody watched the Eagles Cowboys and that game, and I did get to watch the Packers versus the Lions game. In
mm-hmm,
my opinion, watching those games, I thought the Packers were the better team. So of course, there's only one game. But to me, they look like the better team. They look like they had the better D line. I know Jalen
mm-hmm.
Carter got suspended or he got kicked out of the game, and he should have been suspended more than one game. But that's another story. But yeah, no, they look better. I thought Jordan Love looked better than Jalen Hurts as a passer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Josh Jacobs and Saquon, they had similar games. They both didn't really go crazy. Like Saquon didn't have a crazy game or anything like that. Their receiving core is what it is. They don't have a number one receiver. They
Mm-hmm.
have a bunch of guys who are solid guys. And I think that's kind of going to work to our advantage. Like we don't have to worry about doubling anybody per se. But no, their D line, like Micah Parsons, I'm not, I of course I hated him on the Cowboys, still don't like him now, but he loves Jayden Daniels. Like he's a big fan of Jayden Daniels. He loves Dan Quinn. They have a great relationship. But of course, on tomorrow night, it doesn't matter. But he's a factor, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're either gonna have to double or trip him, but they look good, man. They look like the real deal. And once they get that crowd into it, the Lambeau Leap and Lambeau Stadium, like they have
Go
a big
pack,
advantage at
go.
home. Right. I hate
I
that
hate
with a
that
passion.
shit,
I know they were
dude.
playing it. They were playing it in practice. They were playing it in practice. So that's smart by Dan Quinn and them too. But no, they look dominant. They slowed down Jahmyr Gibbs, who is a dog. What we did to them last year in the playoffs, and Jahmyr Gibbs still had a good game. We beat them
Mm-hmm.
by 14. He still went off. And they kept Armon St. Brown in check too. So I got to give credit to their defense. And this is going to be a heck of a matchup. But Jayden is way faster than Jared Goff. You're not going to
Mm-hmm.
just hawk down Jayden Daniels like they was hawking down Jared Goff. But from what I watched, I'll give them their credit. They are a legit football team. They're a perennial football team, good organization. And no, I was impressed from what I saw.
Yeah, man. I went back and watched that game as well, and I saw a lot of the same things you saw. I feel like their defensive line is fast. Like that's what
Mhm.
stood out to me watching them. Whereas like when we played the Giants, what stood out to me was how much muscle and like how tough the Giants defensive line was. The Packers defensive line, what stood out to me was like how fast they were, because the Lions have a pretty good offensive line and they were still managing to get around on there. But the Lions controlled the time of possession, which is something that, to your point of Jayden Daniels being so much faster than Jared Goff, I think if they let us possess the ball that much, it's going to be a high scoring game against them. And you can't let us possess the ball because that pass rush, as fast as those guys are, five is faster. And we have a lot of guys for you to worry about. I don't think the Lions, they have Gibbs, they have Amon Ra, but I feel like having that element like Deebo and seeing that he can line up anywhere and a lot of that movement is going to really confuse that Packers defense. And we'll see what happens. I think we can really take advantage of some things on that. And on the other side of it, I honestly thought the offense for the Packers looked good, but I also, watching that game, I felt like the Lions defense took a step back. I don't feel like the Lions defense that the Packers faced is, I don't know, dare I say, as tough as the Giants defense that we faced. And we were still able to put up a lot of numbers on there. So I feel like we're going to be able to kind of go head to head with them and they're going to be surprised. I feel like it's going to be a Terry game for sure, just off the strength
Mhm.
of the way that Packers, I don't know who their secondary, who the top guys in their secondary are, but I'm going to be watching that game because Jordan Love likes to spread the ball around. And I thought it was interesting that him and Jayden actually trained together over the summer. Like Jayden said it in the post game interview that they lived together and they worked together for a while. I was like, that's kind of crazy. So I'm going to be interested to see the competitiveness between those two.
Oh yeah, no, that's so cool. I think Jordan Love is from Cali, if I'm not mistaken.
They're both SoCal
Uh,
guys.
Yeah, yeah. So that's awesome, man. Jaden has a great relationship with so many guys in the league. Like even Brian Burns was just talking about how Jaden just talks so much and talk. He's always smiling and joking, and like he was like, just stop talking to me, man. Like, and I get Brian Burns. He's upset because he's out there getting cooked. Like he's
Yeah.
out there getting ripped by Jaden Daniels, and Jaden Daniels is just laughing at his face. So like that's just the kind of quarterback that we have, which is crazy. But no, I'm looking at their depth chart. Like they have Nate Hobbs at corner.
Hmm.
And he might not even play. Like he's supposed to be their best corner, and he might be out. Xavier McKinney's a good safety. He's a dog.
He
And
is.
they have Keyshawn Nixon, and they have Javon Bullard, who's their nickel corner. So I mean they got some guys, but they don't really have any. They don't have any shutdown corners. They don't have a cornerback one. They don't really have a cornerback two in the league. Like they just have a bunch of guys. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're just young, inexperienced corners that I definitely think Terry, Deebo, and
Hmm.
Noah to take advantage of those guys. Throw Jalen Lane in the mix too.
Hmm.
And I don't really see them checking Zach Ertz. Like we have so many weapons now, man. I love our roster now. Like it's definitely come a long way from
So long.
when Adam Peters came. And there's so many ways we can hurt teams. Like Austin Eckler, like that was a big play he had against the Giants. He had a 15-yard run where he made like three guys miss, did a spin move, got a first down on like a 2nd and 15 or whatever it was. So there's just so many ways that we can really hurt a defense and make big plays.
Yeah, and that's what makes me feel confident going into this game because I didn't see as much as the Lions are touted for all of that. I didn't see that against the Packers. Whereas I feel like our team it, I don't know. They play so tough. They play so like that mentality of arriving fast and violent is like true in everything they do. So I think the Packers, like to Dan Quinn's point, he's like they have to go against us, and I think that attitude that the team carries is going to be really be like that intangible thing that really pushes things forward. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I just the media really is pushing the Packers, which I get. They had a good
hmm
game and they're at home. And I know they're a favorite. They're a 3-point favorite. It's still not that much either, but it just feels like, it's us against the world, almost against like
hmm
the Bengals last year. Monday Night Football, another national TV game, standalone game, where we're the underdog and we come in and we just take over their stadium in a close game. But yeah, no, they have a good team. Like Rashawn Gary had a good game.
hmm
Devontae Wyatt, Edgerrin Cooper is a young linebacker that they got. So they definitely got some guys. Lucas Van Ness, I think he was a first round
Yes,
pick. They've
yes.
invested a lot in the defense. And they really are. This is, basically like their Super Bowl window. They really, or they feel like it. And they made that big trade for Micah Parsons. Like they made a big play for us. So I respect it. They got a good coaching staff, Matt LaFleur,
hmm
skins coordinator or on a coaching staff, one of the many guys that was here before, like Sean McVay, all those young guys that we had in the building. And I think their D coordinator is he was a former skin too, Joe Barry too. I think if he's still their defensive coordinator.
Nah, I think it's is it Jeff
Oh, they got a new guy.
Hafley now? Yeah. I wonder what
Athlete. Okay, okay. Yeah, so they got a new defensive coordinator. But like you said, the speed, man, the speed stood out. But I think just the speed from our quarterback is going to be so much different from Jared Goff, where I think that's just like, I think fourth down is going to be huge. Like, do we, because we didn't go for it on fourth down at all. And that's not like us against the Giants, because we just didn't feel like we had
we
to. We
didn't
didn't
have
feel like it
to.
was, which I think there was maybe one fourth down where we could have went for it, but our defense was playing so well. It was like, okay, let's just trust in our defense, where this game, we may have to go for it because they're capable of putting points on the board. Where the Giants we dominated, but the Packers, you got to respect them. Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love is a good quarterback.
hmm
He's like top 15, top 12, maybe if you want to argue for that. So they're gonna make some plays. This could be a back and forth high scoring game. I can see that for sure.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think it could. Both guys have potential to score fast too, and that's going to be a big difference maker. But let's continue to dive in on that a little bit. Let's talk about some key matchups in this game.
Mhm.
How do you think the Packers D line is going to go up against our O line? What do you think that matchup is really going to shake out like?
Yeah, so this is probably the most important matchup out of the whole game. Probably the biggest key. So how does Josh Connolly do? Because they're not gonna really try. They're not gonna target Laramie Tunsil.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody knows about Laramie Tunsil, perennial Pro Bowler. He's just a dog, man. He had a good game against the Giants too. So I highly doubt they line up Micah against Laramie Tunsil. They may try to. They're gonna move him around, of course, as a
Mm-hmm.
chess piece. They're gonna put him in the middle of the defense, middle of the D line on the outside. But they're gonna come after a rookie. They're gonna come after Josh Connolly Jr. Do we help him out? Of course, we're gonna help him out. We're gonna chip. We're gonna do all kinds of things like that. That's what we did last year. Like Myles Garrett last year, when he had 0 sacks, 0 pressures, we chipped.
Mm-hmm.
We helped out Brandon Coleman, who was a rookie last year. Same thing with Trey Hendrickson. He had 1 sack, but he only got the sack until late in the third quarter. Other than that, he was basically neutralized in that Monday Night Football game. I didn't really hear much from Trey Hendrickson. We did a good job against TJ Watt with the Steelers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a bunch of pass rushers last year, some really, really good pass rushers we played against last year that didn't do much or were silent. Like Thibodeau last year, he had 0 sacks, 0 pressures. Same thing with Brian Burns. Last year, he had 0 pressures, 0 sacks. So Cliff's gonna dial some stuff up. We're gonna get the ball out quickly. Jane's gonna use his legs. Like a lot of times when people bring up pass rush, I'm not super concerned because our quarterback is so smart and he's so quick, and Cliff's such a good coordinator, and we have plays for that, the quick game, screen game, no huddle. And then we really when we get into our no huddle too, it just keeps teams on their heels. We tire teams out. So that will be a big part of it. But yes, Micah last year, I know it's last year with the Cowboys, he had 4.5 sacks against us. So he had at least 2 sacks both times he played against us. So that's going to be a huge matchup, and he you got to give him his respect. He makes plays. He's going to make a play or two. Now he's not playing the full amount of snaps yet because of the back injury. I mean, maybe tomorrow he will. I know the first game he didn't play like all the snaps or majority of the snaps because of his back. They said he's taking like an epidural. I don't know if he has or not to numb up the back pain or whatever. But he's obviously somebody you got to keep your eye on. Rashawn Gary is a good player too. He's a dominant player for them. Like I brought a Lucas Van Ness.
Mm-hmm.
He's a top round pick for them, and Devontae Wyatt.
He's nice.
So yeah, it's gonna be a good battle, man. Tyler Biotic, he's a dog. So we're built for it. Brandon Coleman was a little up and down last game, and we gotta clean up the penalties. Nick Allegretti did a good job as a backup. We got Andrew Wiley, who's a backup who didn't even play at all. So to have a guy like Andrew Wiley off the bench is really good too, just in case he's needed. But everybody's gonna be looking at Josh Carley Jr. Like, how does he handle it? And I know Cliff is going to have John Bates out there to help him out. John Bates, man, I didn't talk about him yet. John Bates had a good game.
He did.
Like he could have zero catches the whole season. We just need this guy to go out there and maul people and be that sixth offensive lineman. So I'm looking forward to that matchup because I know John Bates is probably licking his chops to chip Micah for sure.
For sure. Yeah, I agree with you. They're going to be looking at Connerly. I also think that they're going to try to test Coleman a little bit as well, too. I can see them really going after Connerly, Allegretti, and Coleman because Allegretti's good, but I think that he can get beat sometimes when he plays against longer rushers. So we'll see how that goes because, he's a little bit more, he has a shorter hand arms. That's why he's better for guard. So we'll see how that goes out. But definitely that O-line battle is going to be everything going into this one. And to your point, they're going to get after it and they're going to get after it early. But I think that you nailed it. Our coaching staff is going to be really well insulated around this. Having more time to prepare for this is going to be something that really helps out. And our X factor, John Bates, Jonathan himself, he's going to really be the person who makes this happen because they do also have to respect him as a pass catching threat. And I feel like Jayden's going to be really quick to get the ball out, and we're going to really lean on that Packers defensive line today. Not today, well, tomorrow. I'm so hyped, man. I can't wait. So let's keep that going on key matchups. How do you feel as though their receivers are going to match up against our secondary?
Mm. Yeah, so I do like some of the guys. I know they're not wide receiver ones. They're not gonna be dominant. I mean, they're capable of doing it. Like I do like Jayden Reed a lot. You got to watch out with end arounds for him too. He's a versatile receiver. I believe they were top five in drops last year. Like Jayden Reed had a bunch of drops. Romeo Dub had a bunch of drops last year. Dontavian Wicks. Matthew Golden's a rookie, so he didn't really he didn't make a lot of noise on Sunday against against the Lions. So we'll see how they incorporate him or if they try to get him going. Christian Watson is out with a lower leg injury, so he's gonna be. I think he started the season on IR, pup, or I believe. So him being out is definitely impactful. But they have a bunch of guys. They have a bunch of guys. They basically have a wide receiver by committee. That's what they have for the most part. So it's kind of pick your poison. Jordan Love, he's looking for the deep ball. He's looking for the deep pass. Like that's what he tries to do. He has gotten better with the intermediate game. But like I was bringing up before, like with Malik Neighbors, it was like, okay, we're gonna have to shade coverage to him. We're gonna have to bracket him. We're gonna have to double him. The thing with the Packers, you're not gonna do that because, like I said, they don't have a receiver one. But you still got to respect these guys. So I do want to see the matchup with Amos, and we're not gonna have Marshawn. We're not gonna have anybody follow anybody. We're not gonna have Marshawn follow anybody like we did last year. So we're just gonna have pass guys off in coverage. I know Joe Wood Jr. Does like to play man, and they just have to be ready like they were last game. Like just awareness of the football, turning their heads around, not too grabby, not too handsy. Don't let guys run past them because I think Romeo Dubs had a big catch last game. And Jayden Reed, like I said, he's capable of getting behind the defense. But I know we're gonna have some safety help with Quan Martin and Will Harris back there for sure. But yeah, I would be physical with these guys up front. I know that's what Trey Amos does really well. He's a real physical corner. Same thing with Marshawn. So let these guys bump and run, and I hope the refs let them play as well. Now Marshawn, yes, he has to be level-headed this game. I don't want to see any unsportsmanlike conduct or anything like that. Anything that will help them out. So it's gonna be huge as well. And then Noah he got a pass interference,
Hmm.
but for the most part, I thought he had a solid game. But no, he only got he didn't even get beat. Like it was one moon ball to Malik Neighbors that he caught on Noah I. So other than that, last game I didn't see anybody like get dusted like we have in the past.
Hmm.
And all our guys tackle really, really, really well. So tackling is going to be a big part of it too. Like tackling Jayden Reed, because he's super slippery. But I'm looking at the numbers right now. Romeo Dubs, he had a 48-yard catch, and Jayden Reed had a 26-yard catch. So those were the two big plays that they had out there. And then Tucker Kraft had a 15-yard catch. So they had a couple of explosive plays. Tight end coverage is going to be huge too. But I'm pretty confident in this secondary, like Mikey as well.
Hmm.
Like we have legitimate depth at the cornerback spot. John Jones, I didn't hear his name much.
That's a
And
good thing.
that's a good thing. That's a good thing, right? Right. That's a good thing when you're not hearing your cornerback's name much because it means they're not getting beat or giving up big plays. So we have a great rotation, man. I love this cornerback room from top to bottom. And I feel like there's an opportunity where we can make a play because Jordan Love, he really should have threw an interception. So the linebacker for the Lions, Alex Alazoni, he dropped the interception, and then Brian Branch got another one,
Called back.
but they called it penalty. They called it back, which really could have been a pick six.
Hmm.
So there's gonna be we gotta really like nice things, man. We gotta be ready once again. Like I talked about that fumble, they gotta be aware and ready to get on the ball. And then as far as interceptions, like you gotta like nice things, man. You gotta come up with it. Like Mikey did a great job against that with the Lions, Quan Martin with the Lions in that NFC divisional game. That's where we like nice things, and that's a big part of why we basically blew them out in their house because the opportunities we had with turnovers, we took advantage of that. And if we can do that against Jordan Love, then I definitely that's gonna be a huge part of us winning this game tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think that is going to be a big difference going in this game versus last game. Is Jordan Love, as much as Russell Wilson can throw a nice moon ball, Jordan Love has a better offensive line than Russell Wilson does, so he might get a little bit more time to be able to throw that. And I saw it in that Lions game, like he throws a pretty deep pass, and he's a bit of a gunslinger, so he's gonna give those guys a chance. He's gonna sail that ball up there, and Mikey and Quan and Co are gonna be right under that. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I think you talked about it a little bit earlier how he does like to spread the ball around a little bit. That is the one thing that I feel like they might be able to finesse with because there isn't a true number one guy. But to your point, we have enough depth and our guys aren't going to have to trail or follow anybody. So they might just split the field however way they want. They might run three safeties a little bit more. Who knows how that goes? But I'm feeling really confident in any of our guys just from seeing how much respect the Giants offense had. Like Russ barely threw at Mikey. Like those type of things lets me know that other teams are watching that and they're gonna be like, yeah, it's not the same team. And we were what top five passing defense last year, if I'm not mistaken. We were like top five towards the end, and that was just in
Mm.
passing. It was just rush defense where we was getting gashed left and right. So I think those guys are gonna match up well. And if the Packers can come in this game a little bit healthy, they'll make it interesting. To your point earlier, maybe it's going to be a high scoring game, right? Because they have guys like Savion Williams. I know he's been struggling to get a little healthy, but if he can get healthy, he's a good gadget guy, right? He played a little bit of quarterback in college, so they can run him out of the Wildcat and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. It's a short week though, so I'm not counting on too much. I feel like in that short week, it's really hard to get guys who are already on the men up and running. So we may have an advantage on that. And speaking of advantages, where do you think who has a better advantage in the quarterback? Let's talk about that as our last key matchup.
Mm.
Quarterback showdown. Two guys who both SoCal guys like to throw. We talked a little bit about Jordan Love. How do you think that matchup is going to go between him and Jayden? How do you think that's going to shake out?
Yeah, I could see a game where they both have really good games
Mhm.
and we get into the high 20s or even 30s. Like I could definitely see that happening for either quarterback. Jayden Daniels is the better quarterback, just his dual threat ability, the clutch, deep ball accuracy. Jordan Love throws a good deep ball too, but I think Jayden's better than in the intermediate game, just over the field as well. Keeping guys on their toes, just a clutch, third and fourth down. Like you just know that Jaden's going to convert, especially on fourth downs for sure. So I give Jaden the edge already as a rookie. And Jordan Love, he got a couple years to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. Took him some time, but he's a really good quarterback. But like I said, Jordan Love he's like borderline top 10, outside of the top 10. Last year he was injured. Uh, for him, he had kind of a down year to the years he's had in the past, but even his down year was a solid year. So I have a lot of respect for Jordan Love. I do. I have a lot of respect for him, especially with him not having a wide receiver one out
Mhm.
there. Because Jaden has Terry, but he makes guys so much better. But Jordan Love, I definitely respect his game. I do give Jaden the edge just because of, what he can do on fourth down, what he can do on third down, where you just have to like. There's just he's just an elite athlete. And as
Mhm.
much as of an elite athlete he is, he's just as good as a passer as he is a runner, which is the scary part about Jayden Daniels. But Jordan Love, sometimes he can just put the ball in harm's way a little bit more
Mhm.
than Jayden Daniels, where Jayden Daniels is just like I think his like turnover worthy plays is like really, really, really low. He just doesn't put the ball in harm's way at all. And I think that's one of the advantages he has over Jordan Love. But once again, I have a lot of respect for Jordan Love. But like I said, I can see a game where they both kind of like that Josh Allen versus Lamar game where they both had good games, man. I don't see it getting to the 40s.
Nah.
But I can see it getting to I can see like 30-27, like similar to the Bengals game that we talked about earlier, where it's like 31-28 from last year, the Monday Night Football game, like 31-28, 33-28, something like that. I can see that where Jaden throws 3 touchdowns. I can see like Jordan Love throwing like 2 or something like that and having a solid game for sure. So it's gonna be a good duel. And like I said, that's how much respect I have for the Packers. Like this could be a NFC Championship preview. Like I
Mhm.
could clearly
Mhm.
see that. I could see that. And this could be like a rivalry or something like that for the next couple of years.
Who
Just two
knows?
young quarterbacks, yeah, from Cali. I could definitely see that coming up for the next couple of years.
Yeah, man. I think those guys are gonna go back and forth, and especially after finding out that little tidbit that they train together, I feel like that's gonna add a nice little edge to it. But I don't know, man. I'm waiting to see. I feel like our defense is gonna put a stop to a lot of what the Packers have going on. So we'll see how that shakes out. Speaking of which, who would you say is your X factor? If you could pick one X factor in this game that might shape things out, you can pick one on either side of the game. Who would you say is your X factor?
For me on defense, I'm gonna go with Kinlaw. If Kinlaw can just blow stuff up, just be disruptive, uh, wreak havoc, beat those double teams, and make things easier for Deron Payne, Bobby Wagner, Frankie, where they can come in clean. Like we need Frankie to have a better game. He
Hmm.
didn't have his best game last game. He missed a couple tackles, which was super super surprising for me. So I'm not going to lie to you. I love Frankie, but I was a little
Hmm.
disappointed some of the missed tackles. But I think Kinlaw, man, Kinlaw was playing with his hair on fire. Like I think he's found a home here where they're going to use him correctly. Like with the Niners, it just didn't work out. With the Jets, it didn't work out for whatever reason, but I think he's found a home. He's super comfortable here. He's from
Hmm.
the area. He's talked about that a couple of times already. So I think this is where I think him and Payne have good chemistry too,
They
man.
do.
I think they're gonna work really, really, really well together. They're just gonna play really, really well off of each other. So for me, if he can blow up the run game too, like just slow down Josh Jacobs and just blow up the interior, like it's gonna be huge from Javon Kinlaw just setting the tone, man. He's what 6 whatever 300 something pounds. So he's a big guy, man. He's a mountain. He's a mountain out there. And then offensively, I know this one's pretty easy. I'm gonna go with Debo again, man. Like
Hmm.
if he can be used as a weapon, as a running back, there's just so many things you can do with him. Cliff can really get in his bag and use him as another running back out there. Jet sweeps, like it doesn't even have to be a jet. Like he can line up as a actual running back, like just line up right behind Jaden on the goal line. There's so many creative things that you can do. Put him in motion him out as a running back, and then motion him out wide or to the slot. Like so, there's so many things that you can do with Debo, and the jokes about him being fat or he can't run routes. Like, man, this guy's out there running routes, cooking guys, dotting guys up, forcing pass interferences out there, breaking tackles. So, man, he's gonna be our X factor again because like defenses are gonna shade their coverage to Terry, but you really
Hmm.
can't because if you do, then you let Debo get 7 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. So I think he's gonna be our X factor tomorrow night.
Yeah, man, those are some good choices. If I had to pick, I like the Debo pick a lot for sure. I think he definitely changes some things up, not just off the strength of how he all the dynamic things he can do, but the fact that defenses have to respect that and that slows them down, which can help other guys break out. But defensively, my X factor, I feel like my defensive X factor is going to be Dietrich Wise.
Hmm.
Dietrich Wise, I saw a lot of good things out of him last game. He's just a high motor guy. He's a big guy. I mean, him and Kinlaw and Goldman. It looks like we have the Monstars out there. I think Kinlaw looks like the purple one. But actually, he looks more like the orange one. But they look like the Monstars out there, man. And I think Dietrich Wise is going to be one of those X factors because from what I saw in that Giants game, he was getting after Russ, and he also he really doesn't stop until the whistle has blown. There were plays where he rushed the passer and noticed that it was a screen thrown, and he ran right up there and made the tackle. So I think Dietrich Wise is going to be somebody who really helps shape this game out. He's another guy that they put anywhere on there. He's a low key guy, but I really think he's going to have a high impact. And if we're going to win this game, he's definitely going to have a good game. On offense, I would say I'm going to have to go with Bill. I'm gonna have to go with Bill because, like we've talked about this entire episode, that Packers D line, they're actually pretty good and there's some fast guys. But I think if Bill can continue to find lanes and gash those guys up and take advantage of Cliff's offense, specifically somebody like Deebo being in there, where how they can motion Deebo and then turn around and do an RPO that goes straight to Bill or something like that. I think if we see more of those type of plays, Bill is going to have a great game. And if he can really take advantage of those holes there, I think that's going to be somebody who really goes off. But I really wanted to give a X factor to the special teams because I do think this is going to be one of those games where every possession counts and special team can make or break that game. So just an honorable mention to the special teams unit as well.
Of course, yeah. Matt Gay, he didn't kick, and he kicked extra points, but we didn't kick a field goal. So the weather is supposed to be good too. I hate when kickers miss in good weather. Like that was the thing that annoyed me in the preseason. Like, this is basically the summertime. You're out there missing kicks. There's no wind, there's no rain, and it's two kicks. And then on the other side, like the guy from the Patriots made a further kick. He made like a 55, 56-yard kick, and Matt Gay missed a 48. Then he missed the other kick against was it the Bengals, or I can't remember which team it was. And then the guy I think it was the Ravens actually. And then the Ravens kicker makes like a 59-yard kick.
Yeah,
So Jaguars kicker in the preseason made a 70-yard kick. So kickers have been cooking, man, and we just need our guy Matt Gay to step up. So Dan Quinn has a lot of confidence. He didn't bring in any competition. And then it's funny you brought up special teams because Brandon McManus, the guy who we cut last year because of the allegations, who had a good year last year, is on the Packers. So I get why Adam Peters cut him. I respected the decision. Of course, innocent until proven guilty. But with the history with the Commanders, whenever somebody, I want to get to the situation.
Yeah. We
can't. I get why. I get why he cut. Yeah, I get why he cut Brandon McManus. But the point is, Matt Gay, we paid him a lot of money too. So for a kicker, we paid him a lot of money. So he's the highest. He has a highest guaranteed salary for a 1-year deal for a kicker in the history of the NFL. So you gotta play like it. And there may be a time, like you brought up, where we need to make a 40-yard or a 45 and everything counts. And we're gonna need that, man, because if he misses tomorrow, knock on wood, then yeah, you gotta bring in competition. You have to. If he misses anything under the 50, anything under 50 yards. If he misses anything under 50, if he misses like 55, okay, it is what it is. But if you miss 48, 45, then yeah, you're on thin ice, man.
Yeah, facts. How do you think, speaking of special teams a little bit, how do you think Tress Way's injury might impact things?
Now, that's a good question too, man. They did sign a punter today, and his name's like I can't remember. I think like Wizworthy or something like that.
Yeah.
And
look him up.
So Dan Quinn said he is going to play. And hopefully we don't need him out there that much tomorrow. Hopefully that's the plan. Like last year, we barely punted the football, so that's what I'm hoping. Which I can see that too, where we barely even need to use him. But I think he's gonna play. He's gonna tough it out. I don't think he's missed a game in like 4 or 5 years, something crazy like that. I don't remember him missing a game for a long time. Like Tress Way has been here forever, man. He was a skin. He's like one of the few skins left on the team between him, Deron Payne, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
So I mean, like to see him miss a game is crazy, but he's not gonna miss the game. He's gonna be there. So we'll see if it affects him or not. I know he took a tough hit from Abdul Carter. So, but them signing a punter, we'll see what happens. The punter's on the practice squad. You don't want to be like Brian Dable, where the kicker was hurt and he didn't elevate the kicker. Next thing you know, the kicker gets hurt against us in that second game of the season, and they're not able to kick a field goal. So If Tress
Forever.
Wade, knock on wood, did get injured during the game, then Matt Gay would have to go there and punt. That's just a hypothetical thing. But no, I get why they signed the punter, but I think Tress Wade is going to be fine and play. So it definitely is something to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, I think his name is Mitch Wishnowsky.
Right, yeah,
Wishnowsky.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Right, yeah.
hopefully we don't ever have to remember that name or hear it after this week. So, uh, to close us out a little bit, I know this is a big one. It's a nationally televised game, man. How do you think the fan base should be viewing this? Is it like a must-win game, or is it something that hey, if we get it, cool. If not, nah. Like, what's the vibes going in?
Yeah, it's not a must win for me. Um, Definitely a little too early, but I do think the Giants game to me was a must
That
win
was a
because
must-win. It's
you
division.
couldn't lose to an inferior team. You just can't,
Exactly.
especially for the season and the NFC East game. But this one, since I have a lot of respect for the Packers, if we lose this one, it's like okay, yeah, this is just a tough NFC matchup that could be a preview for the NFC Championship, and it's a hostile environment. They have a good team, so if we lose this by like 3 or 5, I'm not really disappointed. I'll be disappointed, of course, but I'm just like, man, just hey, dap up after the game, be like, hey, tip your cap, tip your cap. That's probably what it would be if we do lose, knock on wood. So yeah, it's not a must win. But it would be great to have this one. And then looking at the schedule, the Raiders are a respectable team. I'm not just
Hmm.
going to act like the Raiders are a bad team because they're 1-0 as well. But I do see some games after this game where we could definitely go on a streak for sure, if we take care of business. But yeah, it's not a must win just yet, but it's a good preview for the NFC Championship or potentially,
NFC
or
champ.
even just even it could be a while. It could be a divisional game. This could be a while. I can see this go a lot of ways where we see each other again in January and yeah, in late January.
Yeah, for sure, man. I see that. Let's jump in to score predictions to close us out here. So, what's your score prediction going into this game?
So I stick with what I picked before the season. I
Okay,
usually don't change these. Like
that's cool.
I picked I picked us to go 11-6, and this is like one of our losses. And the only reason why I really picked this as a loss is because if I didn't pick this as a loss, and I guess I should have stood on business too with this, but if I didn't pick this as a loss, I see us really going like 7-0 to start the season, like right before we play Kansas City.
That's crazy.
That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. Before we play Kansas City on October 27th. But I have us going like 6-1 before we play Kansas City on October 27th. So I do have this as a loss, but a very, very, very close loss. I have it being 28-23.
Okay.
That's what I have right now. But like I said, I am very confident too. Like I really see a lot of ways where we can win this football game. And I'm not saying like we're just the better team because I
Hmm.
do think it's a very close matchup. Very, very close in talent, very respectable coaching staff
Hmm.
on both sides. The Packers have been to the playoffs for multiple years now. They got a good roster. The funny thing is we're the oldest team in the NFL.
That's true.
They're the youngest in the NFL. Even though the old thing, like if you think about it, like the reason why we're the oldest team is because Tressway is older, Nick McLaurin is older, Bobby Wagner. There's like 3 or 4 guys that like boost our age, like Zach Ertz,
Zach
Austin
Ertz.
Eckler. Other than Zach Ertz, other than that, we do have like a regular like age team or whatever. But I have us losing 28-23, and I
Okay.
think that uh, I, I think we lose 28-23, but like I said, I could see us winning. I could see us winning like 31-28, 33-27. Like I could see either way going. Like I could definitely see us winning this game.
I respect you standing on business and sticking with your predictions before the season. That's tough. A lot of people will be wishy
Yeah,
washy, so I respect you standing on
right,
that.
right.
But I do think we're gonna get this W though, because I'm just supposed to think that.
Yeah.
I don't believe no wrong, especially this. Is not one of those teams. I think if anything, we're gonna have a fluky loss as opposed to like the team that people expect to beat us. I think that this team is gonna come in hungry and it's gonna be. I do feel like it's gonna be close to what you said. I'm giving it maybe like 21-30 is what I'm saying. I think like towards the end, our defense is gonna start to lean on their offense just a little bit more, a couple three and outs where we're gonna be able to just come out and score, and that's gonna take the game a little bit away from them.
Mm.
Yeah, suck the air
Yeah,
out
no,
of Lambeau.
right. I can see that too.
Yeah, man. But I appreciate you for being here today, man. It's been a pleasure to rap with you going to this preview, man. I hope that everything that we see comes to fruition besides that loss that you predicted. But I appreciate you for
Right.
continuing to stand on that, man. That's that's great. That's great reporting, great journalism on your end, brother. So I respect that, man. Before we get out of here, any shout outs, anything you want to tell to the people?
Yeah, just you can type my name on YouTube at Oliver Commanders. I'll pop up on there, and then follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Twitter's EDT, three O's and then FLATT. So it's a weird name. And then you can follow the other YouTube channel I'm on, Commanders Kings. Good content,
Yeah, love that
with Louis
page.
T, Rio Robinson, Street Scores, doing great work over there with those guys. Really good content creators. So it's great doing work with those guys. So you guys can check me out on that channel. We do live streams once a week. So definitely a good amount of platforms that I'm on right now, and it's great the Commanders are winning. So channels are booming right now.
Most definitely make sure you check out the Commanders King. They had a great live show not too long ago, and I've heard rumors that there might be some more live shows coming out. So I'm definitely
Yeah,
looking forward to that. So definitely make sure you show those guys love, like, comment, subscribe on this video. I'm gonna go ahead and link all of Ed's platforms as well as the Commanders Kings here in this video as well. As always, y'all have a great evening. Raise hell on this short Thursday night week 2 matchup. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the Commanders will prevail. Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the Commanders never fail. From kickoff to the final play, we're here to win. Come with me. Together strong, we'll